close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
All right, everybody, welcome back with such a great news. Okay, so the error that I've been facing, that has finally been fixed, and this is being created. Just one package I needed to install, and thank God I read this documentation. Like, I was going through this documentation, and over there this was written, like especially we had to install this particular package. And when I looked at the error, like the error that I was getting earlier, so this runtime utils was written there. So I just thought that okay, that package might be useful in here, and as soon as I installed that this package, the error went away. As simple as that. Okay, so ultimately we are doing everything in here. I will be restarting, like redoing this thing again. But what we are doing in here, we have tsconfig file. It is simply saying that the root directory is src, out directory is dist, as simple as that. It's including everything that's inside excuse me, source directory, and of course it's including generated client that we are generating to. So this is the thing right here, and ultimately the most important thing that's happening in here is the package that we have installed. So talking about the package, where is that? That must be dependency, and here it is. This is the package that we have installed. What it does, it simply, whenever the client is generated, so in the, like here, where is that option, generated Prisma and internal, I was getting the error that inside internal there was some kinds of error, and this particular package simply resolves those errors. Okay, so I of course need to dig deeper, but ultimately it fixed those problems, as simple as that. And the errors were here. What were going here? What were the errors, by the way? This was the error, and okay, you are still getting these the errors because TypeScript configuration is including the files from src generated Prisma internal in its build and type check process, even though you want to ignore them. So ultimately TypeScript wasn't ignoring the internal files, and as soon as I got that package installed, it started ignoring them. Having said that, this was the error. And ultimately, client runtime utils. This was something that I saw, and because of this only, I thought, okay, I should be installing the package, and then it may work. And of course, it's working right now. As simple as that. @Prisma client runtime utils. And what is the package name? @Prisma client runtime utils. Its name is exactly the same. Now I have to just know more about it. And this, thank God I went through this documentation, otherwise I would never have known that, okay, this packet could actually solve my problem. And this is the new documentation by Prisma, and they have mentioned this particular thing in here. So generated client and types move out of node modules. When running Prisma generate the generated client runtime and project types will now require output path. That's okay. To be set in your project's main schema, we recommend that they be generated inside of your project source directly. That's what we have done to ensure that your existing tools are able to consume them like any other piece of code you might have. And then generated client, this is something that we are going through. Okay, we have gone through exactly the same process. Update your code to import Prisma client from generated output. That's what we are doing here, and it's asking us to just keep the JS type, so that's okay. For developers who still need to stay on the Prisma client JS but are using the new output option, there's a new required package, @client runtime utils, which needs to be installed. Prisma generator change and post installed hook removal. And the thing is that AI had no idea about this particular package. Maybe this is just a new package, and it was not actually suggesting me to download this package. That was the biggest problem. In the previous releases, the post hook, okay. In the previous releases, there was a post install hook that we utilized automatically generate your project's client and types. With modern package managers like PNPM, this is actually has introduced more problems than it has solved. So we've removed this post install hook and require developers to explicitly call this. Okay, that's okay. As part of those, I gotta know more about this one. Okay. Tell me more about this and why it solved the problem I've been facing so far. The package this is now required for Prisma projects that use the new output option in Prisma client generation, especially when you are exporting the client to custom location relying on Prisma client JS rather than new Prisma client extension or bundled approaches. Why this package is needed? Background: in order to Prisma setup, so all dependencies needed for the generated client like runtime helpers and types were bundled within this Prisma client and installed automatically. With the new introduction of output option letting you put generated client code in custom directories such as generated Prisma in monorepo, the generated code references helpers types from this directly. If this new package is not installed alongside your client TypeScript, and sometimes Node.js can't resolve references, often leading to errors like those you've seen. Okay, something like that. How it actually solves it? Okay, so your these rows because internally generated files like Prisma namespace.ts reference types and symbols from this particular file, but node modules did not contain this package since it's not included by default output. Okay, npm install @prisma. This ensures that all The required runtime utilities and type definitions are present in a workspace, allowing both the TypeScript and compiler node.js to resolve imports used by generated code. Monorepo custom output. Okay, you use Prisma client setup, no extra install required. All Arriva. I was using Prisma client only, and I needed this package. Custom output via Prisma config require. Aha. Add the default setup, no extra. Then you need to install Y. All dependencies bundled. Add client setup. The previous thing that we had. Custom output via Prisma config output. This particular thing, the client code now references runtime utilities. Monorepo advanced setups, Prisma, this is required. Ultimately, whenever we are just going with the output section, whenever we required like output path explicitly, at that time we need to install this package. I can just look for this package online too. This is the only package that have been. Yeah. है तो I mean है recharge. Okay. The network. Prisma client. Okay, this is not we want. Then well, we don't really get that. Okay, just a sec. First of all, I need this thing in here. This is the change log thing, and I step back, then I'll get this thing in here. What is this? Prisma 7, I think. Yeah, this is the announcement. So I gotta make a web mark of it, and it should be kept somewhere safe. Alrighty. So you are requested not to. Come on, this mosquito is gonna kill me. So here we are, and just a sec, let me just turn it off for a while. Alrighty, time to turn it back. Turn it on again. There are actually many mosquitoes around me. I don't know. Should I kill them or they are gonna kill me? Oh, come on, yeah. Seriously? So, X-Rider, DevOps. Even in this particular section, I was facing the same error. Okay. Mainly, I was working on Xcalidra, Monorepo, Turborepo. Let's save it in here. /web. Mainly in the Prisma section. This is gonna be in here, and that for the Prisma thing, this needs to be saved in here too. So this thing is done, and mainly as it's saying that, just a sec, where is that? Let's close all the things, all the unnecessary things. All these files were opened earlier, but I don't need them right now, none of them. So let's close. Come on, I wanted to close all the files, and close this one too. We have this file open. I can say Prisma 7 plus, and I should be getting that. Come on, am I not getting that? Prisma 7 plus announcement. Where is it redirecting me? I just simply go with Prisma. Should be enough. Okay, here we are announcing Prisma 7 plus. This is the thing that we are here. And if I just keep scrolling, then I get that link, change log, and this is where I actually get that ORM change log and Prisma. This thing, it has never been mentioned anywhere, so I should go with this one, and ultimately it's mentioned in here. The problem is that they are saying for developers who still need to stay on the Prisma client JS but are using the new output option, there's a new required package, this, which needs to be installed. Does this mean that when we use Prisma client we don't need the package? Does this mean when we use Prisma client we don't need to install the package? But I needed to install the package. Without that, no. If you use a default Prisma client setup without a new custom output option, if you use default this at that setup without the new custom output option, you don't need to install this separately. The Prisma client package already bundles all its required runtime and type dependencies. So in typical usage, just running npm this, install this, and generating your client in default location, everything works out of the box. When do you need this particular package? You only need to install this package if you use the new generator output option to place your generated client in custom directly, for example in this or workspace folder, especially in monorepo. This is because generated client now references runtime helper code in this particular package, which is not included unless you manually install it. Client now references runtime helper code. So ultimately, the generated client that we are getting, it references to the helper code that's inside this package that we did not install earlier, and as soon as we install the package, it started referencing to the right helper code, and because of that thing all the errors went away. Why default this users don't need it? The standard install puts generated the standard install puts generated code in the default location and expects all its dependencies to reside within the Prisma. This thing, all imports and type references resolve cleanly as they are bundled and hosted together by npm or pnpm. Use the default generated path, I don't need it. Use custom output, yes I need it. Use monorepo workspace custom, yes, with the custom output option. Wow, amazing. Ultimately, if I use output custom output path, I need to provide the Prisma client runtime utils, because this particular package has some helper code, and the helper code is being referenced from the generated client. As simple as that. So problem solved actually. And as for this thing, this error that it was giving me this error, what was that? Let me show you that too. It was showing that prisma.config file is required. So I have simply said that include this file only, src, and whatever is inside source folder or directory, include all those things, and other things are not included. That means this Prisma file is not included. Prisma config.ts is not included. But if I don't, if I actually, where is that? Come on. If I actually remove it from here, I will start getting the error. Yeah, here I am getting the error. So this is the thing that we've done in here. Apart from this thing, we have to exclude some of the files too. So we have to exclude node modules. Node modules is going to be excluded. We have to exclude dist, and I think this much should be fine. Let me give it to perplexity. Let's ask it to make it better. Let's see what exactly it does. If it can actually make it better, then we'll be at least on the better side. Okay, it's adding so many things. I don't need those things. Source, this thing is enough. And as for excluding node modules, this source generated Prisma intern, avoid Prisma this errors if you use custom output. Well, it does not work. Well, it works kind of. We still get the error, right? So if we are simply excluding these many things, that's enough. And we are including everything inside the source directory. We had already good enough code that we've written. This thing is done. Prisma config, we didn't change anything at all, and it worked fine. That means we can resolve the previous errors that we had in our previous projects. This is amazing. Okay, I can turn the chats on. By the way, I don't really think anybody might be facing this error, but okay, I can turn the chats on and on. Okay, and this thing is done. Generated client is done. We are simply exporting it from here. The thing is that we are building TS file into JS file. So the file is automatically converted into JS file in the Prisma directory itself, and then it is being exported. Then we have generated in here, and then we have the migrations. Okay, let's see. Can I actually migrate it? So cd, first of all I need to go to inside Prisma, npx. This is the first error that actually took this much time. Like it took more than 1.5 hours, and it would have taken more time. Thank God I read the documentation, otherwise it would have taken more time. And the mistake was only one package was missing, and that was @Prisma client slash client slash runtime slash util, something like that. npx Prisma and migrate dev. So this is how things go. Sometimes you get the data source property is required in your Prisma config file using Prisma migrate dev. I should not be getting this error because I already have data source property. Prisma config data source URL and this particular thing. So why am I getting this error? And the last time we did it, it worked fine. Let's see. Ask this particular thing too, because that is already there. So why we are getting this error? The error you are getting, I know, URL. URL is not required right now, so no need to mention this particular thing. npx. I should not be getting this error anyhow. Like there's no way to get it, but I'm getting it. Never mind. Okay, it's simply saying that I should like use URL, but it is not being used right now. I have already gone through the documentation, and apart from this particular thing, I have it, man. Can't you see that? Let me. Come on, give this code too. I already have data source. What could be the reason? In your TypeScript, use Prisma why Prisma CLS Prisma looks for native Prisma schema with data source. But TypeScript, JavaScript, Prisma.ts or similar use the advanced setup automation, but does not replace the required migrations. Okay, so in TypeScript, in schema, database source, block, CLI, what do I need to do? Do I need to use URL? I will definitely get an error because URL is not being used anymore now. So if I just try to use URL in here, and yep, I will get the error. Env, this was the thing I was supposed to enter earlier. It used to happen earlier, not now. Like database URL, and maybe I don't need env like the quotes in here, something like that. But it is saying that URL is no longer supported, so that means do it from here. So only then this works fine. Still the question is that when I got everything ready, so why am I getting that here? If I actually, well, no need to remove that, it works fine. ls are the packages problems. pnpm install pnpm. I can migrate easily. Prisma, sorry, I can generate easily, so I should be able to migrate to name what setup init. Oh come on, what should I name? Just testing, nothing. But it's not going to work. Or is it? Come on, it's working or what? Stop. PM. If I just simply give it this much code, migrate and dev, will it work? Well, guess what? It's working this time. I don't know why is this even playing with me. The same code we were writing. It's not playing with me. It's actually giving me the error. Okay. Can't reach database source at this. Please make sure your database is running at this. Okay, database is not running. Is that so? npx pnpm Prisma Studio. Get connected. Here we have the database. Do we have we have users inside it? One of the user is already saved. Okay, it's got quite easier, right? We directly get the database created. We don't really need to do anything. So right now it's running. That means I should be able to migrate. Well, it's not running. I have stopped it. But let's see. Good thing is that it's not saying that your data source is not there. It is simply saying that can't reach a database server at this. That means maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe I need to run that npx, not that, pnpm Prisma Studio. Once the studio is running, that means database is on, and once the database is on, that means it can connect to the database. It should work that way, but let's see what happens. But if it still shows that error, we'll have to just go to we can replace the URL with another database, and well, guess what, it's actually giving me that. That simply means I can do one thing. Let's open Prisma. Let's open actually database for a while. If it works because only with that, then that's great. Otherwise, we have another ways too. We have NeonDB for that, so that's not a big problem. We don't need to be worried about that. So create a database. We have already created that. At least the problem is resolved. The biggest bug that I had, I've been fixing it for 1.5 days. Then that's got resolved. It feels great. Hello Prisma. This is the database that, by the way, we had. And connect to connect we need this, and I think this is already there. But let me copy and paste this thing again. I think it should not really be a big problem. I have the same URL in here, but just for the sake of doing it, we are going to do it. This again, it's exactly the same. That is what I believe. Let's see. Migrate it. pnpm Prisma migrate dev should work fine. If it is not working fine, we don't have any other. We don't have any other way. Why is it not able to connect? Seriously, we are able to get the data from the database. It's just not able to migrate to the database. The other option is that create another DB, replace the URL, and that's it, done. Is that so that your error message Prisma cannot database this well, data source block is present identified. Prisma found your data source is trying to connect to your database at the address this using the connection. Prisma can't reach server which may due to network issue, wrong connection string, database fix verify database URL. Let's create another database. If that's not working, we have many ways. Prisma initialization monorepo, the error command we not found. Could it be the region? Let's install that. Gonna give it one more try, and if it does not work, we have many ways actually. The next step is gonna be creating a new database on the same website on Prisma, and then see whether that works or not. And if that does not work, then we have NeonDB, and if that also doesn't work, then we have our local database. We have many options. I think it's gonna work. It always works opposite of my thinking. That's what we've gone here. Migration failed. Why? Prisma not found. What the Prisma not found? Does error users already exist, this. Okay, I got that users already exist. Did you mean Prisma not found? It's simply saying that user already exists. That means I can reset it, but when I reset it all the data will be lost. I can make some changes, that's a better way. So let's do one thing, make some changes inside this. I will be adding again model post. It will have an id will be kind of int type, and that will be an id. By default I will be of course it will be auto incremented. Once this thing is done, post will have what name, post will have a title will be type of string, post will have description will be type of string, and lastly created at, and at the default value, first of all date time is gonna be the type, and the default value is going to be, default value is going to be now, or should be enough, or the another thing could be updated at date time, and then it will be set. This is how we are actually going at right now. I can actually do it right now, migrate. I can give it a try. Let's see. The last time it was saying that user already exists. That's okay. We are migrating with new data. What does it say now? It's saying that can't reach the database. Okay. Time to generate a new database and then see how the things go on. How can we generate the new database? That's pretty simple. Go here. We have 3 databases right now. Come on, yeah. Okay, projects. Isn't it working the way I want it to work? Okay, this is the database we had testing and all. Let's create another one. The name is simple, going to be new DB database. We have some options in here. Already have a database, then accelerate or optimize, boost your application. You can enable additional products later. Already have a database, then boost your application performance with a scalable connection pooler and global database caching. What does this mean? Accelerate, optimize, AI driven query that helps you gain, identify efficient database, analyze, learn, reduce, accelerate, powered, fully managed. Come on, why addict? Let's create one, just this one, then I'll figure out the remaining things. I have to just simply do one thing, replace the URL of the database, and that's it. So let's do it. So copy, connect to Prisma X. Okay, we have these options in here too, like connection pooling and this thing. Okay, so we can either enable it or enable that. It was giving those options already. What does these options mean? I have no idea. What do they actually do? Connection pooling. Connection pooling. This is something I'm hearing for the first time. Connection pooling. The connection pool timeout is the maximum number of seconds that a query will block while waiting for a connection from Prisma Postgres internal connection pool. This occurs if the number of concurrent requests exceeds the connection limit, resulting in queuing of additional requests until free connection becomes available. An exception is thrown if a free connection does not become available within a pool timeout. The connection pool timeout can be disabled by setting the value 0. And what? Okay, got it. Connection pool, if I enable it, so end pool is true, that means it has a default value of that pool time. If the time of connection increases more than that, it throws an error. And then we have accelerate. Prisma Accelerate is fully managed global connection pool and caching layer for existing database, enabling query level caching policies directly from Prisma ORM. With 15 plus global regions, the global scales your app for global audience, particularly for serverless deployments that risk connection timeouts during peak time. Let's do one thing, turn both of them off. I don't really need them. Let's simply copy this and the last thing that we need to do, it could be that the server we had that is off or something. I can even remove this particular thing, don't really need it. Can I turn it yeah, I can comment it in here. And then this is the NV file. We have to just simply replace this URL with the new one. Okay, it's done right now. What now? Next thing is the migrating thing, migrate dev. I will get an option to reset for sure. I will not get that. Okay, can't reach database server. This is too much. I can do one thing. Let's go to Neon DB. I don't know why is this actually throwing this. Once this problem is then we'll be figuring the remaining things out too. But first of all, let's get the connection ready. Okay, Neon DB is also a database that provides us the link, yeah, URL for the database, and then we can actually get it connected. That way we have Mongo Atlas for MongoDB. We have Neon for Postgres. Ultimately for SQL, we have Prisma too. So there are many databases. They actually provide it for free, at least free trial. Okay, no data. Why is that so? Come on, my network connection speed is bad, really bad. Let me get it fixed. Well, I just hope it's going to be alright. It's alright at least right now, I don't know later. Okay, so we were here. Let's simply, I just want to test it, that's it. What do we have inside it? Come on, why are you taking time? I don't really have. Seriously? Okay, thank you. What do we have inside tables in here? I hope, okay, we have this much. We can drop all the things from here so that I can just simply migrate. Let's drop this thing to, both the things are dropped right now. I can just simply get the link from here. The URL ultimately I must say, copy it, and env file, where is that? Here it is. And I just simply need to replace it with the new URL that we got, db URL. And once this thing is done, I should try to migrate it. Let's see. This mosquito got killed by me. That's crazy. Okay. If it still throws the same error, that means there's something wrong with our code on the backend side. Then we'll have to actually dig deeper and fix that. If it works, then that's okay. But I think it should work. We are using altogether a different DB URL. What is the full form of URL? User, don't know. Let's at least figure this thing out. URL full form. URL full form. Well, it's working. Great. Uniform resource locator. What? Itna khatarnak name. Okay. Uniform resource locator. This is the full form of that. So ultimately, the URL was the problem. The DB we had, database connection, that was I think off or something, and because of that thing we were getting the error. Right now it's working fine. So yeah, we knew it, something's wrong with the database itself. I am going to be suffering from sneeze a lot very soon. Right now it's just the starting. So this thing is done. We can generate the client, npx Prisma generate. I think this should be enough. So the client is also generated. Can I just turn this thing on? npx Prisma Studio. I think it will not work. It works only for Prisma. It does not work for Neon. Yeah, it does not work. No database found. Yeah, of course, I knew that. Like, I guessed it right. No, it would not be great if I say I knew that. I just guessed it right. So this thing is done. What is remaining? I can build it properly. pnpm build. Yeah, and at the end of the day, if I just cd 2 directories back, and then one more ls. What the hell? Where was I actually then? I was here. Prisma. Wow. We were inside this Prisma, but okay. It could be because of that thing too. Can I migrate it right now? It should work, by the way. Okay, Prisma not found. Yeah, it will definitely not work here. But if I just go to inside this Prisma file, and then if I run the same command, it should work this time. Well, we will not run it completely, but it will definitely work. Yeah. So let's terminate it right now. We have terminated it, and now let's go. Oh, this thing is again. I just get confused. It's better to name it a database, so that because there are two Prisma folders. I just get confused. So I can name it that DB. That would be a better option, and then Prisma inside that. Prisma. How many times? And let's check the dub.ssh. What are the names of the folders inside that? Dub.ssh, dub.ssh, GitHub. Good repository to just get the inspiration from. We have packages. We have inside that Prisma. Inside Prisma, we do not have Prisma. We have schema, and then we have all these things. That's interesting. Never mind. It does not matter. I just get confused. It's my bad. Let's run the same command again, and I think it should work from here as well. And I can migrate the file. Yeah, let's run it. Let it run. Once it ran successfully, then I will generate the client. That's already generated, but I will regenerate the client, and then we will run the dev command from the root directory, and I will check whether everything's work fine or not. And once everything's clear, we have to. Let's create an HTTP server here as well. As per like so far, the DB the client that we are generating, it's working fine. It's time to actually create an HTTP server, and let's see whether that particular client works inside the HTTP server well or not. So right now, pnpm, let's generate the client as well. Pnpm Prisma generate. It should work fine for sure. Yeah, let's change. Let's cd 2 directories back, and now ls pnpm. We are gonna build first of all, and yeah, let's see. Thank God we are not getting errors right now. Otherwise, you may have just look at my previous 3 to 4 live streams. I'm playing with the errors over there. In every command I run, I get an error. That's it. It's like that. So I can build it again. The thing is that this time the things are cached. So this is the power of Turborepo. That if things get cached, then we don't need to build it over and over. So this thing is done. And now pnpm build, not really, pnpm dev. Let's run it. And as for this thing, this is the result that we've got. And inside that there are no users. Yeah, new username. Wow. Why are we getting this new username in here? We should not be getting this actually. The thing is that we should not be getting this new username in here. But we are getting it. Why shouldn't we get it? Because we are using different database right now, and there is nothing inside that database. Do we have that? Let's check that thing out. We are using NeonDB right now, and NeonDB does not have any data. Users, yeah, it does not have any data here. So why we are getting that new username? That's interesting. Let's look at the code that we have. We have apps. Inside apps we have app. Inside app we have page.tsx. Inside it we are getting the okay, so we haven't changed the data. We still have the URL of the previous database, and that is why we are getting that. So we had better change the UNV, like database URL. Control X, Control A, Control C, it's copied and then paste it in here. The thing is that when you are using monorepo, turborepo, whatever you call it, so env file is supposed to be present in all the in all the apps ultimately. Keep trying. Hey, which programming language are you learning? It's I have like it's turborepo, and mainly if I say so, it's using TypeScript, and what else? It is using Node. So Node, TypeScript. Ultimately, I can say JavaScript. So TypeScript is just the advanced version of JavaScript. So yeah, TypeScript is being used here, but it is not just a language. It is a kind of a framework, not even framework. It is a way to structure all our files in the same directory, in the same code base. So I'm mainly learning that way, that okay, in the same code base, how can you contain your many projects, and then how can you actually share the related code from here to there? How can you actually generate create one DB client and then export that DB client and import that DB client everywhere? So I know I'm making you confused, but it's like how can I explain it? Turborepo. What is a turborepo? What is a turbo? Just a sec. Turborepo. In simple words, it is a way to organize everything in the same code base. Okay. Turborepo is a high performance build system. So yeah, it is a build system. It simply helps you just build everything in the same code base. Designed for JavaScript, TypeScript code bases, particularly for sorry, it was not for me. It was this pop-up that I'm getting. So particularly for managing and scaling monorepos, it minimizes the task execution to save time and computational resources. So it is simple. It is a system, build a system that helps us build many things in the same code base and organize them in the best way possible. Okay, by the way, here we are. So this thing is done. Right now we should be getting the right response, by the way. So if I reload it, I think I'll have to rerun it. Yeah, I'll have to rerun the server because it is still using the previous env file that it had. By the way, Vijay Singh, good to see you here. What are you doing, by the way? I would love to know about you guys too. Just comment below. I'm having a look at that. New user we are still getting. Because right now we have two databases. This is insane. Let's fix this thing. Let's remove the first database that we had, and now let's keep this one. npm dev network error. Okay. Okay, no user added it, and right now if we just go to NeonDB and add record, just add some data. Username is gonna be like okay, Vipendra, VIPENDRA, and save it. Password is gonna be my password. Just save the data, and if we just reload the page right now, Vipendra is here. That means it's working fine so far. The next step is simple. We actually have to create a we have to create a HTTP server that simply signs up the user. The main reason behind that is to check whether the client we are actually exporting from this Prisma directory inside packages is actually working fine or not. Are we actually able to use that client, like database client, in an HTTP server? As simple as that. So let's do that. It will not take lots of time. Rather, it's gonna take the least time we have ever given to anything. So inside that HTTP server, here we are inside this. cd, and we have to go inside this http server. ls there's nothing, npm init that's wrong, npm init y, that's insane. Something's wrong with my terminal, it does not show the right things sometimes. It does not happen all the time, but it happens sometimes. npm init code package.json, npm, okay, npm pkg, what is happening, npm pkg set type should be module in here, so we are gonna be getting this thing done. Once this thing is done, mkdir src touch src index.ts. Again, we are using TypeScript in here. For using TypeScript, we'll have to initialize that. So npx tsc init will initialize TypeScript. Yeah, that's done. We'll have to install some of the packages. That should be actually pnpm add express. We need express. What do we need? That's it. Express is enough for now. Okay, we need the types of express too. Oh, is it gonna take time? No. pnpm add types of express, because we are using TypeScript, so we need the types as well. That is the most important thing, and of course that would be saved in the dev dependencies section. So this thing is done. We gotta write this script. So first of all, we'll build it. For building it, the script is gonna be pretty simple. That's gonna be tsc nb, and then we have to start it. For starting, we will have a script like it would be running the dist folder index.js file. So node dist index.js. As for the main file, that would be dist/index.js. I don't think I have lots of time to get this done in here. I actually have to leave, but I think I should not leave. I should get this thing done. Then npm run build and npm run start. First of all, we'll build it and then we'll start it. So this thing is done. I hope it's not gonna take lots of time. First of all, we're importing express from express const app is equal to express. We'll get an app const. We need to have a port number. That's gonna be, for now, what should be the port number? 3001. We are going to use this port number. App.listen. At this port we will be listening, and once we are listening, we need to just throw some message out, like we'll be logging something. So the log message is going to be this: server is running on http look, not like this, localhost, and then port number. Well, because of the cold, I am not able to type even. My hands are numb quite, so it's hard to type even fast. But yeah, I'm good at typing, I can say. Let's use a middleware in here, app.use, and that would be express, because of course we'll be getting data from Postgres side. So express.json. So this is the middleware for parsing the data that we get, and then we'll have a route app post. Of course, this will be mainly for sign up, so we'll be signing up. We have request, response, and then in here, first of all, we'll be getting data. So first of all, we'll get username, we'll be getting password. That's pretty simple, nothing need to worry about in here. We'll get it from request.body const. Once this thing in here, we'll be just signing up the user. So wait, we need a client in here. So suppose we have client like Prisma.use. We need to first of all get the client. How will we get the client? It's pretty simple. We have already we are exporting the client. Now we have to import the client. So at the rate repo / Prisma, and it should be like workspace, because we are using pnpm in here. Meaning is wrong. Prisma, is that okay? Yeah. Then ls pnpm install. This thing is done. ultimately I should be able to get the client in here. So import from @repo Prisma. We have two things in here. Prisma client. Where are we getting it from? From here. /client. What are we getting? We are actually creating Prisma. Then what do we need to do? Const user await. For this thing I need to make it a sync function. Await. Then we have got the Prisma client. Then we are creating a new user. Of course I need to provide it data, and data will have username and data will have password. Again, I'm not hashing the password right now. It is just a simple program that we are creating. Return response dot status is gonna be 201 mainly when we create something. .json message is gonna be pretty simple, and that's gonna be like a user signed up successfully, and we'll be of course providing the user data. And if it actually fails, then we need to keep that thing in mind too. So let's keep it inside the try catch block and return the value. Return response dot status. If something goes wrong, so the status code is going to be 500 dot JSON message. The message is gonna be like failed to sign up the user. This thing is done, and error is gonna be this. So ultimately basic sign up code we have written, and now let's simply check whether it actually works or not. So to check this thing we are gonna be using Postman actually. First of all, cd to directory is back ls. We are inside the main directory npm dev. Let's run it. I hope it's gonna work fine. We are running HTTP server. Got the error. Ultimately we are getting an error in here. The error is simple. This index.ts not found. What did it find? Dist index.js. It's saying that it did not find it. Okay, we are not building it, aren't we? Yeah, we are not building it. But there is a thing that I've written the code dev tour npm run dev build npm run start, so it should build it automatically, but it's not building that. Why? We need to have ts. Okay, this thing is not. I need to uncomment root directory and source directory. This thing is done. Let's run the program again. Okay, we should not get scared of bugs, errors. We'll figure them out anyhow. Okay, by the way, this thing is done. Right now I need to open Postman and check whether this thing is working or not. Postman. First of all, on 3000 port, that is the front, we have a front end. On 3001 port we have a sign up page. So talking about the front end thing, what is this new chat? I don't need to talk to AI. Okay, first of all, talking about the we don't need to make any request to the front end because we can get it in here. Let's get it actually. Localhost 3000, and we are getting this Vipendra thing in here. I don't want my name. I want all the objects that I get. So we need to make some changes in the code that we have. Web app page.tsx, or I can do one thing. I can actually show the names of all the users saved in the DB. So ultimately, user dot find many. I wanna find many, and this is how it's gonna be going on. Once this thing is done, let's remove it, and we want. Actually, that's gonna we'll be getting actually users more than one user. Then users dot map, and then we'll be getting user, and we need a div for that. As simple as that. Inside the div, we'll be getting user dot name, user dot username. Let's fix it. User. It should be fine. Of course, we need an index key, so we will be giving it 2. It needs a key actually, so we'll be giving it the index value that we get. The username, it's saying that does not exist. Why? Property username does not exist on type ID. Username string. Oh sorry, that should be user, just user. So it's done right now. I should be getting all the names on the front end side. So right now what we are getting, we are just simply getting Vipendra because there is only one user, right? Let's sign up another user and then I should be getting the name of that user too. So the username is gonna be, suppose whom, Digvijay. We have him in here, Dig Vijay. Okay, this is the name, and the password is gonna be anything. Like password is gonna be password. Why do we need to worry about anything? We have to sign up. This is the route. Let's see. Well, failed to sign up. Okay, what is the problem? Prisma client known error. Failed to sign up user. This is the error that is we are getting. Prisma client known request error is this. Why we are getting it? What now? Okay, let's figure it out. We have this HTTP server. Inside that we have, let's remove all these things, extra unnecessary things. Putting this thing in here. It's pretty simple. This is the Prisma file that we are getting, and yeah, it's referencing the right thing. And prisma.user.create, it's simply creating the data, and of course the data did not get saved yet. Yeah, on the front end side it's working because of course we are getting the data from the backend itself, but when it comes to HTTP server we are getting this error. We are using the same client, keeping in mind. Let's try it one more time. Model name user driver 3001 sign up, failed to sign up the user. Driver adopter, no PostgreSQL username is specified in the startup packet. Database access denied. Database access denied. Really? Okay, time to take the help of AI. Don't really want to waste lots of time. I hope it will be able to give me the reason. I knew that something would go wrong. No Postgres. Postgres requires username for authentication. Sent in the connection string itself. If the database error is missing, rejects the connection. Sorry, my bad. We haven't given any env file. I was telling you earlier, like we need to have env file in all the apps or the servers we create, but the good thing or the bad thing, whatever you call it, I haven't created an env file inside the HTTP server that we are working on. So this is the server. Okay, inside this server we don't have an .env file. That was the main problem, and because of that thing it was unable to connect to the database. So let's give it one more try. And don't say that, okay, first we'll have to restart the server. Don't worry, errors are common. So let's restart the server so that it is actually starts using the .env file that we have provided it. And once this particular thing is done, and right now if we sign up, we should be able to sign up. Things don't go as we expect. Okay, we are still not able to sign up. This is interesting. We have created a .env file. Yes, we are getting the client. This is the NeonDB database. So this is the database that we are getting. It should work here. The simple thing is that it is working for the front end that we have. Node modules. PM build. Let's see whether it's able to build it or not. It's working for the front end. It should work for the back end, but it is not working for the back end. That's the main issue we have, and I hope we are gonna be able to figure the things out. The good thing is that server is running, it's not throwing any error, so this connection thing we can figure out slowly. HTTP localhost 3001 sign up, we are signing up, we are unable to, I think let's log it, CLG, not this, CLG request dot body that we are getting. Let's see exactly what we are getting from the Postgres side, and then we'll, what the hell, I knew something is wrong with my backend. Let's run it. We are inside this HTTP server. It's running on 3001 port. And what about the top one? The top one is running on 3000 port. That's okay. And right now I'm going to actually send 2 times we send the data. So ultimately we are getting the data, Digvijay, and password, we are getting password. So we are getting the data. The only problem is that the client we have, it is unable to connect it to the database. Okay, first of all, let's get the client as well. Const user is equal to await prisma dot user dot find many, and then we'll be finding, because this is the same query that we are running. Just find one with the username. Return a response dot status 400 dot JSON message is gonna be this user already exists, and new user. This thing is done right now, and let's see where we are actually getting the error. CLG user does not exist, and then we can just continue. What do we need to do? When I start, restart. Are we sure that it will work? We are just simply giving it a try, and then see how the things go. Okay, the server is started. It's actually listening on 3001 port. If I just try to send it, okay, we are getting this thing in here, failed to sign up the user, and this is the error that we are getting. The reason behind it still not able to figure out, but the thing is that it's not able to get the user with the given username. What if I send Vipendra in here, because this is the user that's already been saved, VIPENDRA. Send it, still not doing that. So this is the problem, that it's unable to connect. This is the Prisma client adapter we have. Okay, calm down. Let's check the reason behind it. I am able to fetch the data on the Next.js web app, but I am unable to do the same on the HTTP server using the same client. If you are able to fetch the data Prisma in your Next.js web app, but not the same client are getting error, this database access denied with no Postgres username is specified. It means your HTTP process is not connecting to the database without a valid username in connection string. Why does it happen? Next.js fetches work. Your Next.js app is likely running a valid .env database URL that includes the username, password, all connection details. HTTP server fails. Is that so? Could be. Can it be just database URL problem? Really? I think .env if needed, require .env. We need to, I think, do it. Require it. .env can be the problem. No custom logic. Okay, ultimately this is the thing. We are unable to connect to the database on the server side. That means either env is the problem, like .env. Okay. Either this is the problem. But the thing is that I had to just make others understand for a while. Okay, so this thing is done. So ultimately there could be two problems. Either we are not getting the env file or the env file is wrong. But if we just copy and paste the env file, how can it be wrong? So we are copying and pasting the same env file that we have there. So it cannot be wrong. There's no way. So there's only one thing that could be the reason, that we are not able to access that env file. cd http cd apps http server ls pnpm install pnpm add.env. This thing is done. So we have installed .env. Once we have .env inside here, then the next could be, let's import it. Import .env/client. Do we do it like this? Not like this. Import .env from .env, but I don't think it will work the same way. .env from .env.client or .env.config. This way. I don't know. Let's see whether it works or not. pnpm dev, because this way we are actually able to access the .env file in here, but we don't really need it in here. And as for this client, it's getting it from the package side, but let's see, who knows, right? So send it. What the hell, this thing, new user, failed to sign up the user. Okay, this thing is the thing. We still need to figure this thing out. client version 7.0.0. We are getting this error only. What could be the reason? The mistake we were getting, the bug we had earlier, that was quite descriptive, right? It was telling that okay, this is the reason behind that, and this time we are just simply getting the version. Response means that sign up logic. What the hell? Sign up logic failed. That's crazy. But this time the error object only includes the Prisma client version, no detail here. What this usually indicate the request failed somewhere in your server logic, but you are not catching and during the full response. Then it may still be the show your machine. Okay, we are getting this thing done. What can we do? How? Do we need to have .env file inside HTTP server 2 when we get a client from DB in Prisma in Turborepo? Let's see. Yes, you do need to have your file equivalent inside your HTTP server. That's okay. Why? Got that? Why? But how? Have a .env file inside your HTTP server package and mirroring the connection info shared package, or ensure that environment variables are provided by your shell, something like that. How to just .env file is enough for the imported client, or we'll have to import do something. Okay, let's see. I hope I'll be able to figure it out. For most cases, just env file with the database URL and any other secrets in your HTTP server package, as long as import the Prisma client normally imports Prisma from your package. Ensure your server processes the loads.env variables. .env config for ESNS require config for CJS for module. That was for CJS only, common JS. How about module ESM? ES modules import .env like this at the top of your entity file. Well, will this work? That's don't know. Let's see. Who knows whether it actually works or not. So this way it doesn't work. So we have one more way. Import .env/client config actually. And now let's give it a try. Okay. I don't know whether I'm the only one who gets stuck so much, or everybody does. Well, it's obvious to get stuck because I'm using Turborepo, right? You are just getting the things done in an insane way. But once they are done and you know the way, then things get easier for sure. I don't even feel like using this thing in here. It doesn't catch any error. So let's do one thing. This particular thing is getting the error for the first time. So try catch and see CLG error. Because this is the first thing that we are getting. could be the reason behind it? We are getting the client, we should be able to get the things done, but they are not getting done. Okay, this is the error that we are getting. Server client password must be string. Well, what all are we getting in here? User does not exist. This particular thing. Okay, this is coming. This is the error that we are getting. What does this error mean? I hope something will come out of this. Let's look at the error. Prisma. Do we need to install that again? Do we need to install Prisma client on the HTTP server side? Don't know. Runtime client JS. Let's see what it actually suggests. Reading the errors, it seems like that. Prisma client, everywhere it's written Prisma client. That means we need to install that. That's it. What is the problem? Why isn't it getting that? Maybe I have network issue. Argue Prisma adapter PZ node modules adapter index.html. Okay, why are you taking so much time? You should not be taking that much. I have good network connection. Sometimes even the network starts playing with me. Wow. But never mind. SASL Scram server first message client password must be a string at hello Prisma node modules pg pool index js 45 at process this internal. Hey Baba, this is enough, too much. I've waited enough. Who waits for this much time just for the response? Yeah, here we are. Client persisting typically occurs when the password provided to the post this SQL client such as PG pool used by Prisma is either missing, undefined or not of type string. Okay, the key points. The password in your database connection configuration is likely undefined. Really? Let me have a look. We have NeonDB, we have password, we have the username. Null, undefined, null, embody, postgres, something that's protocol scam accepts a string password and throws to 0. Common issues causes include incorrect or missing environment variable for the database. Password configure, verify that your database connection object contains a proper string for the password. For example, like this, if using an environment variable for the password, ensure it is loaded correctly. For using .env and is non-empty string. Sometimes special characters in the if your code base has no password, not recommended. This can still occur because the library requires password string provided to fix. Come on here. Let's give it the URL as well. Have a look at that. However, the client what is this? The connection is you shared seems correctly formatted, including this. However, the error client password suggests that at runtime the password part might not be passed as a string to the Prisma. Okay, to check verify your environment variable is loaded correctly. To ensure this, check any transformations, confirm Prisma new client database source. This doesn't work at all. The thing is that it is not working. Like we are not getting data on the front end, like on the client side. Like the client is not working as expected. The funny thing is, on the HTTP server side, the client is not working. On the Next.js app side, it is working really fine. What all do we have in here? We have next we have React. Prisma plus okay, HTTP server plus Turborepo. What are we doing in here? Prisma Studio. We are exporting it. App HTTP server index.ts. We are getting this thing here, calls bigger express Prisma from the config. Request response @database npm install create for HTTP server. We have HTTP server web in here. The .env file are not even sure. AI is not able to get the idea about the error. I'm not able to get the idea. Then who is able to get the idea? Okay. Dub.ssh. Let's see. We don't really have any like dub.ssh. It doesn't have any HTTP server. We had another website called calc.com GitHub. There it has API, it has web. What about the API? It has index, it has package.json. What all does it have inside it? Dependencies, dev, node index.js, true, main, easy peasy. And then it has version 1 and version 2. Let's have a look at version 2. Inside that it has package.json, it has build format. What is nest? I have no idea. Dependencies, Prisma. What does this mean? Prisma is equal to dot packages Prisma schema Prisma. Is it actually getting Prisma schema? But for what? This is the path to that only. Packages Prisma schema dot Prisma. That's true. And private license. Okay, so this is the thing. tsconfig.json. out dir it has. It's excluding dist node modules. Next this thing including everything with ts package.ts. Okay, we have source in here. Inside this source we have main.ts, we have env.ts. For what? For environment variables. We have main.ts in here. Okay, are we getting anything from Prisma? We are importing .env in here. That's interesting. We are doing the same thing. App module swagger logger. We have run app.logger create next step swagger lib logger. Okay, logger is for logging the values and all. App, we are getting it from bootstrap. Where is app? We have this app.ts in here. We are getting nest.js. I'm not sure about this nest. I will be like knowing more about it. Helmet express cookie parser platform express nest.js core nest.js common. Nothing quite helpful. Okay, this thing is done. I have got enable course. Returning, we are returning the apps from here. Okay, so we must be running it somewhere. So we have apps, we have env, so we must be running apps in here, right? We've got the app here, logger we have, new logger app, then we are running it. This import. So we are running it inside this, but we are not getting any client. Okay, Prisma client. Instrument.ts. Inside this we have filters, middleware. We may need to call middleware, body, request RDS, app logger, app redirects, rewrite, body, JSON body middleware, body parser express, nest.js common. Well, nothing helpful. Raw body. Request IDs, request interceptor, express nest.js common. Even if simple v2, the thing is that this is the v2. We have these many things inside it, but we do not really have .env file. We have .env file example. Inside that we must have the URL. Not we do have URLs. Database read URL, database write URL, web URL. We have URLs. So ultimately we are getting the URLs into version 2. Okay. And once we are getting the URLs, we are changing anything inside package.json. Calc API to, that's okay. 0 author license private to script format start, so many things. Test dependencies. They are using nest.js a lot. I have to figure that thing out. By the way, they are getting this Prisma thing extra, and they are mainly getting Prisma schema. Let's try it out. Like, not quite sure, but we don't really have anything else, right? So what they are doing extra is this. Prisma schema. I'm not sure it has no way to work. How is this even gonna work? Okay, if I just click on it, we are inside this, and where are we going? let's check this thing out. We have HTTP server, we have web, we have packages, then we have Prisma slash this. What will it do? Don't know. PNP dev 3001. Getting that expected thing. Gotta paste this error online now. I hope somebody must have already faced this error that I'm facing right now. So let's do it. Okay, Google. Well, users did not find any match. Really? Okay, scram server, first to find message did not find, must be string. Okay, here we are. Let's have a look at it. Somebody faced this problem, that's okay. So it's as if in my database connection I'm not it's not recognizing the password database. I'm trying to run cd.js script to receive the database with useful information for testing purposes, and if I run npm server, it is which is script, it just starts node man server, it will connect to db, it's just fine. But when I try to run my script, it is some returning error. Okay, import, well, he is importing it like this. Well, above. Well, it's actually getting the values from the .env.cli. What it is he is using? Nest. This nest thing, nest package, I got to know about it many times. This was not Postgres. Now it has resolved, but my config getting like localhost this of the configs. My problem is in this case was that I was using .env and refactored the process env outside the function being called. This worked because .env has been initialized calling connect to db. This works again because .env is being initialized in this module.env connect to db. Not sure this message. Tring 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 tring. Keep doing. That's it. I can create a server like inside Nest.js, but the thing is that if I have to create WS server like WebSocket server, that needs to be just outside Nest.js. So I need to figure this problem out anyhow. Await MySQL. Pool. What does this mean? I fixed this by changing the database PG from localhost to this. I don't know why, but okay, that's amazing. Like, people solve problems like this. I fixed this by changing database PG, like a host from localhost to this, and it worked. I had the same error and fixed it by adding the lines to the connecting import everything as .env from .env config. Well, there I'm using Turborepo in here. Keep in mind that I am using Turborepo HTTP server. Any idea? Turborepo uses caching mechanism. Globally env. Okay. When running scripts or builds with the Turborepo, declare environment variables. Turbo just like this. Restart all Turborepo processes after some Prisma client monorepo setups need path as well. Not always. If you want to share Turborepo config, we can give it a try. Turbo.json global env. Turborepo global env. Inside build we need to save it. Something like this, global env. Let's do one thing. Let's create a simple route that simply gets the users and see whether that works or not. Of course, we will face the error there as well. HTTP server index.js. We have these many things in here. We have the sign up route. One more try. app.get/users async request response. Business logic is not the problem. This setup is the problem. Once the setup is ready, anything can be done like this. But business logic, that's easy peasy thing. The setup, I'm facing there with that. Try catch. Const users is equal to await prisma dot user dot find many. Just find all of them. If there's an error, return response dot json and just return the error that we are getting, and clg error as well. And as for this thing, return response dot json users. The easy peasy thing. Like, okay, right, it's easy to write, but the thing is that the basic setup is not working as expected. Right now we are not gonna send any data from the like Postman side. We just simply wanna get the users. Well, that's gonna be a get route, and we are getting users from that particular route. Let's run it. The error is simple. We are still getting this error, especially when we use use this thing. And if I just simply remove it from here, do we still get that error? Let's see. Or we'll get an elaborated way of that. Error. Client password must be string. Can't you see the .env file that I'm providing? Dist node modules @repo Prisma, delete it, ls cd step back, 2 step back, ls pnpm install pnpm build. Wow, what is the problem? Let's remove it from here. What is the use of keeping it? How about this? Am I able to build this right now? pm dev. Talking about the web dev, I must be getting the response in there for sure. That's like always there. Localhost 3000 and let's see. Yeah, we are getting the response in here. So app side is not a problem. Next.js is working quite well with the client that we are exporting and importing. The HTTP server is the problem. The good thing is, the crazy thing is that we are using the same client. There's only one thing is that .env file is not being used the right way maybe. So code this we are getting. Prisma client non-request error. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How can I help?
Well, the thing is that I'm using Turborepo. Got it?
Turborepo is a high-performance build system for JavaScript and TypeScript monorepo.
Okay. You don't need to tell me about that. The thing is that inside Turborepo, I have created a Prisma in package section, and I'm exporting the client from there. And that client is working fine on the web Next.js web app, and I'm able to fetch the data from the database. But apart from that thing, I have created HTTP server, and when I use that client, the same client, to get the data, fetch the data from the database, that's not working. Like I'm getting an error. Why?
I see. Could you share the specific error message you're encountering when you try to use the client in the HTTP server? That will help me assist you better.
Well, yeah, definitely I can do that too. So the error is simple, like what was it? Just a sec. Let me have a look at that.
Sure thing. Let me know what error you're seeing, and I can help you troubleshoot it.
Well, it was like database access denied.
I searched for issues related to Turborepo and database access denied errors. Common solutions include ensuring that environment variables, like database URL, are correctly passed and loaded in your Turborepo setup. Also, Turborepo can sometimes have permission issues with certain directories. Okay, consider adding a .turbo file to exclude them.
The thing is that, hang on for a while. The error name is like Prisma client known request error, and then it is saying that a user was denied access on the database, not available. What does it mean?
It looks like you're encountering permission issues when Turborepo tries to access your database or related files. One solution is to ensure your environment variables are correctly configured in your turbo.json and that the .env file is properly loaded. You can also consider adding a .turbo file to exclude problematic paths.
Well, okay. How can I make sure that .env file is actually being used in HTTP server? Because in JSON web app, I think it's I have just given .env file and it's working file, working fine. Client is getting that. Could it be the reason that client is actually not able to get the database URL from .env file on the HTTP server side?
To ensure your .env file is used in your HTTP server, make sure you have imported it at the start of your server file with required.dev.config. Then log process.env to check if your variables are loaded.
What if I'm using ES module?
To ensure your .env file is being used, try explicitly loading it in your server code with required.dev.config. Then log process.env to check if the variables are set. That helps confirm that your HTTP server is picking them up.
Do you mean that I need to use require, or even if the type is module?
Exactly. You can use the .env package with ES modules by importing it like this. Import .env.env.config. That ensures your .env variables are loaded in a module-based system.
Okay, let me give it a try. But the thing is that I gave it a try earlier too, but it did not work. Sad.
Got it. If you've already tried that and it didn't work, the issue might be related to how you're accessing the variables or the order they're loaded in your HTTP server. You might want to log process.env right after loading .env to see if it's available as expected.
But the thing is that the client is not directly getting the env URL, right? The client is just the client that is being imported from the Prisma package on Turborepo, of course. So how is it? Is this actually using env database URL? Is it happening in the background?
Exactly. The Prisma client uses the environment variables when you initialize it, typically in your backend code. Ensure that your Prisma schema references them with env database URL, and that process.env database URL is populated before Prisma is initialized.
Okay, just a sec.
Yes, that's the right approach. Just ensure it's imported and configured before you create or use the Prisma client. If needed, you can add a quick console log for process.env to verify it's loaded. Great. If you run into any other issues or need further help, feel free to let me know.
Alrighty, I've used import.env. Let's simply run the program and see whether we actually get that or not.
Sounds good. Run it and check if the environment variables are picked up. If you hit any snags, I'm here to help.
Well, yeah, environment variables, they are picked up and
perfect. Glad to hear it. If you need further assistance or have any more questions, feel free to reach out.
Even if the environment variables are picked up, I'm still getting that error. The model, the error is name.
It sounds like you're dealing with a database access issue. To troubleshoot, ensure your database user has the correct privileges, and check your database logs or configuration, like pghba.conf for sure thing. Could you share a bit more about your database setup? Like which database you're using, Postgres, MySQL, etc., and how you're hosting it, so I can offer more targeted advice.
Okay, I'm using Neon and using Prisma, of course. The thing is that it's working on the front-end side, on Next.js app. It's not working on the HTTP server.
It looks like you're facing issues integrating Prisma with a Next.js app and a Turborepo setup. A common problem is that the Prisma...
What could it be mean? Driver adapter error, add database access denied, something like that.
In Prisma ORM, driver adapters act as intermediaries between Prisma client and your database. You need to import and configure them with your connection string, then pass them to the Prisma client constructor. Would you like a code example to see how it's done?
So like, how can it be the region? Tell me one thing, do I even need to install a Prisma client on the server side itself too? Like inside HTTP server, do I need to install Prisma, like Prisma client?
Yes, you need to install the Prisma client on your server side as well, where your HTTP server runs. That ensures the server can interact with the database using Prisma. Would you like guidance on how to install and set it up?
I don't need any guidance, I know that, but let me do that.
Got it. Good luck with the setup. If you run into any issues, I'm here to help.
So it's like a PNPM add Prisma /client, right? @Prisma client / I mean Prisma @Prisma /client.
Exactly. You can install it using npm by running npm install @prisma/client. Once installed, you can generate and use the Prisma client in your project.
But no, the thing is that it needs to be installed on the package, like Prisma package, because we are of course exporting the client from there. Why does it need to be installed in the HTTP server?
If your HTTP server needs to interact with the database directly using Prisma, then Prisma must be installed in that server's package.
What if my HTTP server is using the client?
If your HTTP server uses the Prisma client to interact with the database, then it must have the Prisma client installed in that package. That way, your server can execute queries directly.
Let's see.
Exactly. Let me know if you need any further assistance.
Well, the same assistant. It's not working.
I'm sorry to hear that. Could you share a bit more detail about what's not working? Are you getting an error? Or is something specific failing?
Okay, let me do one thing. Let me copy and paste the all the error, and I hope can you have a look at the error if I just send you?
Sure. Go ahead and share the content, and I'll take a look.
Okay, it's quite big. Gonna take time. Just a sec.
Feel free to paste it in, and I'll review it for you. It seems like there was no content in the last message. Could you try sending it again, please?
Yeah, just hang on. I'm sending that. I need to copy that before.
No worries. Take your time and paste it when you're ready. I'll be here to help review it.
Yeah, I'm using Turborepo, and it's saying that for copying I need to click C. What does this mean?
It sounds like you're referring to a command or an instruction like click C in the context of Turborepo.
Yeah, I mean when I run Turborepo at that time, if I want to copy the things from the terminal, so I'm getting some of the things like I for interact, UD scroll logs, and similarly C copy selection. So how should I copy?
It sounds like you're working in a terminal or command line interface. Typically to copy text, you can use Control-C. On Mac, Command-C. On Linux, it varies, but often Control-Shift-C. If you're using a terminal multiplexer or a specific terminal app, the method might differ slightly.
Let's see whether I can actually do it.
Sounds good. Try that out. And if you run into any trouble, let me know, and I can help further.
Okay, I will share the error. Can you have a look at that?
Sure. Share the content when you're ready, and I'll check it for you.
I have done that. Check the newest message that I sent.
I don't see your .env content in the last messages. Could you try pasting it again?
Can you see the current message that I have right now?
I searched your active tabs, but didn't find any mention of a current message. Could you clarify what you're looking for?
You can't do that. Prisma client. With the same username credentials in database like PSQL. Okay. Neon DB. Backup. What else? Production. Dashboard. Connection pooling is on in here, and passwordless authentication. PSQL HTTP on tech. Okay, this thing is done. I can reset the password, but don't need to do that. .env, this thing is in here. Let's see whether we can actually go with that or not. So ultimately, the error that we've been facing, so earlier it was like that string problem we were facing. Right now it is saying that okay, the user is not authorized, something like that. So we don't really have any other option except running it, and then I may watch some of the videos on YouTube. Don't really know whether even videos regarding this particular bug will be available. We are getting okay, this is not really a problem. The another thing is that the easiest solution is to simply create the database client in the HTTP server itself. In this way you are not actually importing it from the DB package, but ultimately you have that. So yeah, there are many ways, but when it comes to doing it in the right way, so this is the you had better just export it and import it, but that thing is not working here. That works fine for the Next.js apps, by the way. Okay. If we had access problem, so how could we just get the content on the Next.js application, like Next.js app that we have? We are having this problem only on the HTTP server side. This is the thing. I'm done actually. It's been around 2 hours again. It's not like we haven't got any improvement. We have even got most of the things sorted. This is the only thing that is causing the problem. And why am I getting this? I don't know. Am I the only one doing it for the first time? It's even not like that. Many people have done it earlier in the past. But it could be because Prisma has just introduced its new version, that is Prisma 7. But even that does not make any sense. .env file. Await user find many, getting everything, sending the users, getting the error. लगा लो, मैं तो नहीं आने वाला अभी. My head hurts right now, seriously. Don't really getting any video so that I can actually watch any video on YouTube and then follow along. I can only go through the data like docs. Set up environment variable, package database.env. Where else are we getting that? .env file, third number, Prisma init is HTTP server in Turborepo. Getting started. Start with an example. This is not something I wanna look at. Creating a repository, okay. Structuring a repository, managing, creating internal packages. Let's creating the repository, dlx create, something like that. Inside app there is docs. Yeah, we have web app. Aren't we creating any HTTP server here? HTTP. There's no way you can get that. All these things are getting done in the web app, right? Yeah. Managing dependencies, configuring tasks, running caching, using environment variable, API references, structuring, creating internal package, managing, configure package, system, file, options, command, run from. .env. .env or just env. System environment variables. Using environment variables, have I handled my env files? Only the build task cache, global dependencies, .env, all task caches. Which environment mode will Turbo use? Are my environment variables accounted for in the task hash? It's to be aware of environment variables to account for the change in the application. You have to do this. Global dependencies .env inputs. It should not be the problem by the way anyway. .env.env. Remote caching, configuring turbojation, running a proxy server on the top of Turborepo, introduction to Turborepo, deploying Turborepo to Vercel, deploying Turborepo to Vercel, deploying HTTP server with a Turborepo Vercel Turbo build system optimized. Code base of Turborepo itself. Share environment variable between Turborepo mono repo project. I've set up a basic Turborepo project and I want to share .env variables across all the apps and some of the packages. If I set a .env file in the root of project, and how can all apps and packages access them? Or okay, as of December 2000 I recommend the way of doing this. Special Turborepo cd root directory of your project, npm add .env CLI. What the hell? Root directory of your project, npm .env CLI or npm add CLI w create .env file in the root directory of your project, add your .env to git ignore, add your variables to new .env file. If your Next.js, remember to prefix your public with the next public, example next public, whatever. On your Turbo.json file, add a variable on which each pipeline job depends. So pipeline dev front end depends output this environment variable this restart your local install.cli install.env CLI in the root workspace, yarn.env workspace root check, then dev is equal to .env and then turbo. You may leave the turbo default global. Update the root script what runs your project with turbo. In my case this .env. Global dependency is value get required .env. Okay, let's see. Numerate .env CLI dev is equal to .env. Interesting. Will it work? Add .env CLI in your project, a root project, npm like this, then inside this add .env file in the root project from docs. Let's see whether it actually works. Well, we are gonna be keeping the .env file in the root directory this time, and we don't really have that, right? Yeah, we do not have that. .env file that we have, the code that we have for it, close all of course. ls this is insane. That's installed. What next? .env turborepo rundev. Turborepo rundev .env. I think it was the same. And then .env file is there. pnpm install. Moving .env that was installed by different background. pnpm add. What did I have to add? That was .env as a dependency. .env CLI as dependency. .env CLI. Exit it. pnpm dev. Well, what is the problem? .env is not recognized as internal or external command. This is not working. Even that way, we are giving the .env file. Should I be calling it just right here? Dev dependency. We don't really have that. Wow. Really? Let's install it one more time. pnpm add .env CLI. Running this w. Why am I doing it over and over? W. It should be a dev dependency. Well, now we have that. pnpm dev. Interesting. Okay, this is running. Well, I'm gonna be getting it done later. Maybe after half an hour or something I'll be back. I need someone's help. For sure. But let's see, I have a friend. I'll call him and ask him to help me with this. And let's see how the things are gonna be going on. I've given it more than enough time. But this Turborepo thing is driving me crazy. I'll definitely seek someone's help in this particular thing. Otherwise, I don't know how long it's gonna be taking. Seriously. By the way, thank you very much for being here with me. I'll be back very soon, like after half an hour or something, after having food, dinner, of course. Until then, take care. And yeah, keep hustling. Keep up the good work. Take care.